Time for my July deck of penning update. This project was created by Emily and Max here on YouTube. I will of course link her down below, as well as the game board if you want to play along. I'm working on 7 prompts in this project. I think Emily's suggestion is to do 5, but I'm only doing 3 projects overall. I have the stack of penning, then I have a 26 and 2026 project going, and then I'm also doing a whole collection project pen. So I feel I have capacity for 7 products or 7 prompts at a time in this project. And this update I'm rolling out 5 products, so we're gonna draw 5 new cards. First, let's go over the products from last month. In June, I was working on 2 products that I had rolled in back in March. One was the Kevin O'Quan bronzer, which I put in for the Ace of Spades, which is the prompt Plan to Pan. And I've rolled this in for 50 uses. At the last update, I was at 21 uses, and now I'm at 33 uses. So I've used it 12 times since the last update, and I have 17 more uses to go. This is what the product is looking like now. I feel like the pen has gotten a little bit bigger. Right now, this is my main focus item, so I'm using it pretty much every time I do my makeup, and I hope that I will manage to roll it out next month. Also in the project since March was the Armani blush, which I put in for the prompt In It for the Long Haul, and I also put that in for 50 uses. In the last update, I was at 49 uses, so only 1 more to go. So of course, I've hit that goal, and now I'm at 53 uses on this product. Then in May, I pulled the 5 of Clubs, which was this time last year, so a product that I had bought 1 year ago. For that, I put in my Catrice brow pencil, which I want to finish. And this is the second product that I haven't completed yet. This is how much I have left. Unfortunately, I didn't write down how many uses I was at the last update. So all I can tell you is that currently I'm at 97 uses. I usually measure it by putting it up to the cap. And I think last update it was barely reaching the label, and now it has gone down a little bit, but not too much. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it in a month. Then last month I pulled the 7 of Hearts for highlight, and for that I put in Nimue, which is my only highlighter that I own. It's by Salt New York from the Hannah Louise Poston collection. I put that in for 10 uses. Last update I was at 4, and now I finished it. So I've used it 6 more times since then. And this is what the product is looking like now. I do really like this highlighter, but I feel like it's in general more of a fall-winter product for me. Right now in summer I'm shiny enough usually. Then I pulled the 8 of Spades, which corresponds to chopping block, so an item where you're not too sure if you want to keep it or not. And for that I put in this Fui 3D volumizing gloss in Scotch 70%. And the reason it's on the chopping block is because I don't like the fruity scent it has. It's also newer, so I don't know it very well yet. And I had put that in for 15 uses. Last time I was also at 4 uses. I've used it an additional 11 times since then, and I decided to keep it for now because I do like the color, I do like how it sits on the lip. I feel like the scent doesn't linger too long. It hasn't become a favorite, but I've also decided not to declutter it, at least for now. Then I pulled the 4 of Diamonds, which corresponds to the prompt Pencil, and this is a product I cannot show you because I've already decluttered it. I had put in the L'Oreal Blur Filler Lip Liner in Nude Espresso. I had put that in for 10 uses, but after 4 uses, I've decided to declutter it because the color just didn't work on me. And instead of forcing myself to use it 6 more times, I decided to give it to a friend while it was still fairly new and barely used. And lastly, I pulled the 3 of spades, which corresponded to fragrance, and for that I decided to finish 3 samples from a sample pack of Fleur perfumes, and I also managed to do that. Last update, I had already finished Soft Spot, and I was pretty much done with Mood Ring, and now I've also finished Missing Person. The first 2 I quite enjoyed. Soft Spot was just a warm, comforting scent, and Missing Person was quite fruity and fresh, and Missing Person I didn't really like. For me, it smelled like laundry detergent, but not really in a pleasant way, so I'm happy that this one is gone. So 5 goals met, or rather 4 goals met and 1 declutter. And these 2 will stay in the project, this one until I finally finish it, and the bronzer for 17 more uses. So that means it's time to pull 5 more cards. I had already shuffled these. Let's cut the deck. There's 1 joker in here. Let's see what we get. Two of Hearts, which corresponds to pattern. 8 of Hearts. The prompt here is primer. 6 of Diamonds. Ooh, Wish You Returned. 7 of Clubs. Gemstone, and lastly 10 of Diamonds. Metallic. Okay, I'm gonna go through my collection and find products for these prompts, and then we'll be right back. Okay, I just checked the game board again and realized that I read that wrong. The 8 of Hearts actually corresponds to the prompt Impulse, not Primer. We'll see. Okay, I'm back with my products. The first card I drew was the 2 of Hearts, which corresponds to the prompt Pattern. And for that I decided to go with my Gucci bronzer, which has this nice embossing, and I decided to put that in for 10 uses. I still have the other bronzer in this project, which will be my main priority, but maybe it's also good to have something to alternate so I don't hyperfixate on just one product. The next card was the 8 of Hearts Impulse, and for that I've pulled one of my many impulse purchases, the Clarins lip oil in honey, and this I'm putting in for 20 uses. The third card was the 6 of Diamonds, Wish You Returned, and here we have another lip product, which is the Blurring Matte Lipstick by Sephora in the color 01. And while I do like the color and also this blurring matte finish, this lipstick is so heavily fragranced and you really get the fragrance in your mouth and can taste it. And I find that really off-putting, and I wish I had just returned it as soon as I noticed this. And this one I'm putting in for 10 uses. Then the only black card I drew this round is the 7 of Clubs, which corresponds to the prompt Gemstone. And for that I decided to pull my RMS Beauty Redimension Hydra Powder Blush in the color Crystal Slipper, because this embossing really reminds me of a cut gemstone, and also the shimmery nice color. It's giving rose quartz or another rosy peachy crystal. Let's maybe give you a better swatch. Then the last card I drew was the 10 of diamonds, which corresponds to the prompt metallic. And for that I pulled another lip product. This one is the Anastasia lip gloss in Amber Sparkle. It isn't built as a metallic gloss, but I mean, the sparkle is pretty metallic, and also the cap is metallic. And this is what this one is looking like. And I just realized that I forgot to tell you that I decided to put in the blush for 12 uses, and I'm putting in Amber Sparkle for 14 uses. And if you're wondering why those numbers might appear a bit random, I had mentioned in the beginning that I'm also doing a whole collection project plan. And so for most of the products in my collection, I set a goal number, how many times I want to use them. And for Amber Sparkle, for example, that number is 20 uses. And if I use it 14 times in this project, I will have hit that yearly goal of 20 uses for this lip gloss. The RMS blush I want to use 30 times this year with 12 uses. That will put me to 20. The Sephora matte lipstick I also want to use 20 times, and I'm currently at 10 uses, so by completing the prompt in this project I will also reach my yearly goal of 20 uses on that one. The 20 uses on the Clarins lip oil will put me to 30 uses total, and I want to use this lip oil 50 times this year. So far I've used it only 10 times. And then lastly, the bronzer I also want to use 30 times within this year, and 10 uses in this project will put me up to 15, so exactly half the uses. So that's it. This is my July stack of products for Deck of Panning. I'm really excited to hopefully hit some yearly usage goals on some of these products, as well as just get some variety and not completely focus on only one cheek product, and hopefully finally finish this never-ending brow pencil. I'm really looking forward to watching all of your Deck of Panning updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.